Hey, welcome to the workshop number 257. This is a comedy safe space, so feel free to say whatever you want. Um, Jeremy, you're up first. Let me know what your topic is and when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
I'm ready. My topic is bowling. So, cocaine was big in the 80s, and sports were dumb in the 80s. People played foosball and badminton and curling, just to name a few. I put that curling in there for the Canadian people. Thought it was going to be funny. So, being born in the 80s, and for the sake of this joke, bowling was cool. It was a cool sport in the 80s, and I use the term sport loosely. My life started in an era where men would break their backs to show a woman how they could throw a very heavy, maybe not the right size, but overcompensating for his car and living at his mother's house-sized ball down a lane and knock over some pins. It is assumed that my parents met at the bowling alley. Rumor has it my dad rolled a perfect game, and my mom was what is called a pin chaser. So if you score a perfect game, then you got sex in the back seat of a car. And that's where I was born, except for my dad didn't go bowling, and my mom doesn't like my dad. So it was sex in a station wagon. Later, there was a DNA test, and then that was when my father got me my first set of balls. They call bowling a sport, and an avid bowler has their own balls. And this happens because they've used one too many gutter balls in some backwoods sports bar, and they caught an STI. Avid bowlers will have their shoes, and you can tell by the classic pickup line, "Nice shoes, wanna fuck?" And this is used whenever an avid bowler can see that there's a foreign bowler. And a foreign bowler is anyone wearing rental shoes, blue and the red ones. An avid bowler also, like if you see an avid bowler and he does not have his own bowling bag, then that means that he is married and he keeps his balls in his wife's purse. So some bowling terminology, a sleeper, this is somebody who got too drunk to come to the bowling alley before, and now they're sleeping in the car or maybe in like the booth or something. There's a re-rack, and this is a boob job, but this is specifically a boob job paid for the winnings of a bowling champion. So you have to, kind of know some bowling champions to get a re-rack. Sandbagging, this is whenever you buy bowling trophies at estate sales and pass them off as your own, thereby making promises to give girls re-racks, but you're only in it for the fucks. A turkey, this is when you get 3 strikes in a row, also known as bowler with a criminal record. A bowler with a criminal record. 7-10 split, this is an ugly girl that at 7 p.m. she's not drunk, and by 10 p.m. she's too drunk. So you gotta get that perfect game in between the hours of 7 and 10 so that you can take her out to the car. A kingpin, this is a man with a wooden hand. That was from the movie. There's 10 pins in bowling, and bowling is usually played with 10 pins, but at my local bowling alley, there's no 4 pins, so there's no foreplay. I didn't think any of this was funny. I'm just continuing to talk. The foul line in bowling, that's 16 years of age, so you cannot go below 16. So recently, I found this out. Bowling alleys in Iowa are filled with bad racks and meth pipes. Country boys, the ones that go bowling wearing overalls. Just a few more. The host of the TV show To Catch a Predator is an avid bowler. I recently joined a Suicide Anonymous group that meets at the bowling alley. We meet next week, and then we never meet again. And then one thing about bowling, and this only comes from a bowler will buy his own ball because he fingered so many gutter balls. Yeah, okay, never mind. That was what I said earlier. All right, thanks, guys. That's my time.
Hey, woo! Yay! That was awesome. You guys have any feedback?
I learned a lot about bowling.
And my parents having sex in a car.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't needed.
Sometimes a little colored story is like helps. Little sexy tale. I don't know. You want to call it that? I thought I liked when you went through the names and you were like, oh, this term is this and this. I thought that was creative, and I liked where you were going. I was thinking for re-rack though. That's like when you get a boob job and then you know one just
You have
sinks
to get
lower
a new
than.
boob job. Okay, yeah.
And I also thought you could have done the same thing when you were talking about like a pin chaser or someone who wants to have sex. Think of other names like pin chaser, and I put don't use gutter slut, but you could use gutter slut or something like that if you really want.
Yeah.
Think of other names. You had like a lot of you had a lot of great spots, and I felt like could we keep going here? Where would I go? So yeah, I don't know. Bowling. Super fun.
All right. I recently went bowling, so it was like a added thing.
I'd imagine that is such a spreading thing with all the balls and the touching and the germs. But now I think about COVID about everything. So
Can't you like just dip the ball in hand sanitizer or something?
Probably.
Sorry, my dog.
Bowling.
Now she wants to play.
COVID was mostly under control, and then recently they opened because again I'm in Vietnam, so they opened up like the borders to start taking in like certain people that met like criteria for jobs that they needed filled and things like that. And they brought in like 85 new cases. So that's why the show was canceled on Saturday, was because possible new cases in the city.
Do they have bowling?
The perfect time
then? I mean, I guess you would if you just went bowling. They have bowling in Thailand then?
Vietnam, but yeah.
Or Vietnam. Why? Sorry, I'm thinking of a friend of mine that went to Thailand.
It's okay. They have bowling here.
Yeah, okay. So I was wondering how it's different. Because it's I always think of it as such a
Cheaper?
North American pastime. Cheaper.
It's like $3 a game. It's cheaper.
Because that would have been the thing to explore.
Do you think that you could Trojan horse them with like a bowling team, and it's like secretly Navy SEALs, so we can like reinvade?
Start preparing
your arms
for that.
So big.
I don't think we have beef with them anymore. I mean, they wave to me, they talk to me, they're very friendly.
Yeah, just I don't know. No, I was saying we would have beef with them, not the other way around. They won, or they have beef with us. They'd be like,
like everybody, whenever before the election, they're like, who you're gonna vote for? And I was like, I don't know, I don't really vote. And they were like, well, you got to vote for Trump. And I'm like, that's probably not the person I would vote for if I was going to vote. But okay, why is that? And they're like, well, Trump don't like China, and we don't like China, so we like Trump. And I'm like, okay, that's not really a reason to vote for somebody, but yeah, great, thank you.
I love China. Could you play pool with bowling balls? Like giant pool?
If you had giant sticks, maybe?
No, you don't know.
But also like
bowl.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before, maybe.
Really? It sounds painful.
Or I've seen like these big pool tables that were like human size, and the people had to like push the balls or something like that. I don't know.
Bowling.
Thanks for the feedback.
Any more feedback on bowling?
No, it just reminded me of my childhood. My mom used to play a lot of bowling, and she would wear that brace on her ankle.
On her arm, yeah. Or on the ankle as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Brace.
The hand. It's like a something to keep her wrist straight. She would wear.
It's yeah.
Like what archers use?
No,
Kind of. I
but,
think yeah. It's just maybe like what a rollerblader or somebody would use for their wrist, because it just like makes your wrist like stiff so that it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Because you also
Yeah.
use that like for other purposes that require a stiff wrist.
I mean,
I
maybe
don't know.
depends on how many balls.
Probably.
Hmm.
Depends on what you're lifting.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm just picturing like when someone's cheating in cars and like, hey, and then they pull up their sleeve and they got some contraption. It's like that, but with the bowling thing, stiff wrist. Like your wrist was suspiciously stiff. Never mind. Any more feedback, guys, on that set?
Oh no.
Okay, it's time
I feel
to
like
move
we
on.
wasted too much time on that already. So
Oh, sorry. Queen Momo, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin and what your topic is, and I will start your time.
Might as well get it over with now. I feel like it's a lot worse than bowling, but we're gonna give it a go. All right, am I ready? Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right, cool. So I got the topic bartending, and so here we go. So I was out one night and I ran into a friend of mine. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" So he looks at me. He's like, "I'm bartending." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you're not behind the bar. Like, what do you mean you're bartending?" So he gives me like this crooked smile. You guys know that good boy type smile. I was like, "Oh, here we go, here we go." So he looks over at this girl, right? Walked over to the shorty, started talking. I don't know what he was saying. Had a big old smile. He's like, and all I could hear is like, "I'm gonna have what she's having." And then he's talking a little bit more. Next thing he knows, he looks at me. He gives me like a little wink, and she's paying for his drink. And he's like, "See, I'm bartending." He's like, "Oh, I got you. You tending the bar, consumer style. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up." And speaking of bartending, so like, you have to go to school for bartending. I'm like, in today's age, why not just do everything on YouTube? That's free. And then you're gonna spend all this money to make about maybe $9 an hour. If you're lucky and really behind the scenes, you get paid on the table. I don't know if that's a really healthy investment. That's what I'm saying. We are kind of in a recession. Corona is real. And I don't know about where y'all live, but I live in South Carolina. And in South Carolina, all the bars shut down at 11. Ain't nobody gonna be tending to nothing at no bar at 11 o'clock. We need more time, is what I'm saying. Just more time to make it worth it, is what I'm saying. Because back in the day when you could stay open till 2 a.m., that's when all the, I like to call the girls the coyote uglies. They come out. They all come out to play, and they're all dancing on the table. And you think, one night, one girl, I don't know what it was, but you think she would had enough, but nah, she started going all over the place. I'm like, oh, okay, let's keep on watching. So we watching this girl. Next thing I know, she slips and falls. Luckily, she didn't bang her head. I was like, Coyote remix. So it's interesting. And also, not to mention, but bartenders, right? I spent a lot of money for being licensed as a mental health therapist back in the day, right? And I should have just spent $580 something and became a bartender, because it's almost the same thing. People get all sad and tell you the whole life story, how they went bowling and they could have almost made it into a team. It's so horrible. So, just one of those things, just listening to people and things like that. But yeah, so I figure, me being single nowadays, I might as well try this bartending tactic. Just go out there, see if I can find somebody and pay my bill. Why not? I don't want to be a sugar mama anymore. Do they make that as a drink? That should be a drink, a sugar mama drink. That would be nice. Something that miraculously pays all my bills for me at the end of the day. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
You guys have any feedback?
I wrote down doctors have to, I don't know what it is, maybe every 4 years they have to go and, update their schooling or something like that, renew their certifications and things like that. I think a bartender has to do that every 2 years. So it's like, what bartenders got to do it every 2 years, but doctors can get away with every 4. Isn't medicine changing faster than bartending? I mean, what's the deal with that, And then at the end, you're talking about buying drinks. Here they have these like lady bars. They're not like strip clubs, but they do have prostitution there. But it's just a bar full of girls, and they'll like sit and talk to you. But if you buy them a drink, it's like 4 times the amount you would spend on a drink for yourself.
Oh,
You buy a beer, and it's like $2.50 for a beer, but then you buy them a drink, and it's like $14. They're like, buy me a lady drink and I'll sit and talk with you. And like, no, I can play on my phone. I don't need to talk to you. But yeah, that's what they have here. But men will buy drinks all like at that 1 a.m. hour. Like there's all kinds of men buying drinks at the regular bar for ladies.
Wow.
Learn something new.
Your microphone.
Yeah, I caught it. I'm dumb. I do it once every time. Just to add on to that, the whole bartenders renewing, I think it's funny that they have to. It's like, oh, now I have to go back and learn how to make a Dolly Parton. Like, and think of like a funny celebrity that's like big right now. Like, oh, I have to like go back and renew my license so I can learn what the heck a Blue Grimes is, or how to make an Elon Musk, which is just sewer water, like something like that.
That's good.
Yeah, and you're talking about like your schooling for your job and stuff like that. Comparing that to bartender school, like I would have to I thought that was really funny, saying I could have just taken 1 year of bartending school instead. It would have been a lot cheaper, and I do the same thing. And even then, like talk about other things like with the school, like you're going to I don't know how long your course was, but like if it was comparable, like I had to go 1 year to learn how to do this and make sure people don't kill themselves and do all this. Meanwhile, other people have to go to school for a year just to not spill a drink on the counter. Like parallels,
That's smart. That's smart. I actually have a whole set on school, so I was trying to not go into that set.
Oh, fair. That's fair. But, if you're doing a show and you really work on the bartending stuff, is something you integrate, then that'd be a nice segue.
Yeah, it really would be. I like it a lot. And then I can like rag on my friend a bit because she actually just finished doing bartending school. So, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's what you decided to do, and you still have student loans. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you could do something like for the amount of time and the amount of money that I spent for going to be a doctor, I could have learned how to do hair in a year, and then I could have learned how to do nails in a year, and then I could have learned bartending in a year, and then I could have did this, and then I have like 4 different job potentials, possibility areas, but now I'm limited to just this one with the same amount of debt.
You know what? That's actually really good. Now I feel really bad. I'm $80,000 in debt for real, y'all.
You could start a salon, like after you get your license, then you get some workers, and now you got a salon, now you got a business. And you took your business degree in 2 years. That was your longest degree or something. I don't know, but like the length of time that you did for doctoring or for learning to be a doctor, you could have did 4 other things.
True. Professional hustling.
Yeah, what if someone always had dreams of being a bartender, so they started prescribing drinks? Their
That's
solution
hilarious.
for everything. But bartending's what do you think bartending school is like? Do you think like a final test is like they hand you like lubed up bottles or something, and you have to not let them slip out of your hand?
Jungle
It's a
keys.
cocktail.
Must be great. That's funny. But yeah. Oh, thank y'all so much for this feedback. I'm gonna rewrite it because there's potential here.
It's a good topic.
Yeah,
Cool.
everybody's
You guys have any more feedback?
familiar with bartending. No, good job.
Thanks.
Okay, well, Abby, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin and what your topic is, and I'll start your time.
I am my topic is Scrooge, and I am ready to begin. So Scrooge, I like that he's it's like okay he's the villain in the Scrooge movies or in a Muppets in A Christmas Carol, and it's like, oh, he exploits the reason he's so bad is because he doesn't like Christmas. It's like, oh, he exploits the poor but doesn't like Christmas. Now we're angry, and I just think like the guy's an introvert, and that makes him the villain. Does that mean like Piglet's the villain of the 100-Acre Wood because of his severe anxiety? And is that the only holiday he doesn't like? Like, is it just Christmas? Is he also like, oh, Super Bowl, bah humbug, or oh, Martin Luther King, bah humbug? You know, which actually made me think the greeting card companies don't have cards for Martin Luther King Day, do they? It's like they only want to give out cards that for the holidays they made up instead of the real ones. What else was I going to talk about? Okay. The other thing is he gets visited by 3 ghosts, and then he changes his tune, and suddenly he's now a nice guy. And I was just thinking, like, maybe we need to send 3 ghosts to every billionaire to get them to pay their taxes. Like, I know we can find enough ghosts and dead people in an Amazon warehouse to go haunt Jeff Bezos and maybe get some money out of him. Maybe getting him change his tune. Like, and I don't know if past, present, and future is going to be enough. We probably need more than 3 for him. So I'm thinking like maybe 1 ghost for every decade. You know, like I'm the ghost of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I missed time on disco, but and like you could do a ghost all the way from the 1930s all the way up to the 2030s. You don't have to go any further than that because we won't be alive then. What else? Also, if you ever needed like evidence that the world is made for only rich white dudes, 99% of the Muppets are 4 feet tall people of color, and yet every door is big enough for Michael Caine to walk through. If you've seen a Muppets Christmas Carol where everyone's a Muppet except for Michael Caine and the whole world is big enough for Michael Caine, it's okay.
He was the only one.
Yeah, he was the only human, yet everything's like every chair, every door, everything. It's just meant for the rich white guy. And that was all of it. I kind of just rambled through that, so I don't know what my time is.
Sweet. You guys have any feedback? That was awesome.
I like it. I like it.
Yes.
You know, I wonder what it would look like if they actually made Scrooge greeting cards. Because, you know, there are people that are angry and they need validation too.
Oh,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I was thinking that too. That when you said the bah humbug card, I thought you were going to go into that, like a greeting card, bah humbug. I'm like, I would buy those.
Yeah,
I would.
absolutely.
My dog would buy it too. She's bah humbugging right now.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Scrooge or the Grinch?
The Grinch.
I think it depends on what the prize is.
I think that Scrooge was just born into money, I'm assuming. So I don't know if he has the craftiness to. I don't know what his story is, actually. Shouldn't assume he was born wealthy, but like he doesn't really do much except just be a jerk as the head of a company.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the Grinch had a plan, had a lot of things.
Good.
I was thinking about your the
He was
Muppets
crafty.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm. That's what I'm going for. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Muppets with Michael Caine being the only human, and all the doors are sized for him. What if it's like a handicap? Like they just want to make it more accessible. There's like a wheelchair for him.
They make the doors big enough as accessibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's tall. Like we gotta allow for special things for him.
It really is a good
That's
tale of accessibility gone right.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea about the ghosts coming back to like scare the rich people to pay their taxes. And then I love you for telling us that we're gonna die in the 30s because I'm looking forward to it.
It's going that
Means
way.
you don't have to save money for retirement. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys have any more feedback?
Good job.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. My topic is corporations.
Ooh.
Hope it doesn't get too similar. But here we go. Corporations. I don't like corporations. I don't know. I've never trusted corporations personally. A lot of people they get old, they turn into adults now. Corporations are evil. I realized that corporations were evil when I was a kid because I found out that corporations make toys and then don't include the batteries. I always hope that I never turn into one of those people that treats life like it's a contest to be the most evil. But it turned out that that's actually what life is, I think. Apparently it is. It's like a bunch of people got together and okay, we're going to form a team now. And then go up against the entire rest of the world. Because, I mean, it's pretty much like every... well, I'm sure people formed an army first as their team to impose evil on the world, and then eventually this all evolved into corporations. So we can do it without killing people out. We don't even have to get our hands dirty. We can just pay people to do it. Let me see. Corporations. I wonder if eventually all corporations are going to merge and then there's just going to be a planet-wide corporation. Everybody's going to just work for Google. That's what everybody does. That'd be kind of cool though, because what if each planet has one corporation that's just their planet? Oh yeah, there's Google owns that planet, Amazon owns that planet, and then they go to war with you. Maybe that's why Elon Musk is trying to colonize Mars. He's trying to get a leg up on everybody else. And Mars is going to be Tesla planet, and then eventually there's going to be interplanetary war. And then the Jewish people are gonna come out from behind with the space laser. They're gonna come out from behind the moon and just start zapping people. Oh fuck! This was what they were planning the whole time. The Wailing Wall is gonna split open, and underneath, rockets are gonna start launching out at Mars. All right, I'm done. You guys have any?
Oh man, I have a question. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah.
I was thinking kind of go when you were talking about corporations and things like that. I was like, oh, I hope you mentioned something how people become idiots and then use Gatorade as water.
Oh yeah, when they were watering the plants.
Plants need electrolyte that you need. Yeah, that shit was dumb. I thought we were going that way with Trump. I was for sure that
Me
we were going to be
too.
that way.
Me too.
It's
Yes.
weird how like old books and old movies were like written as fiction or whatever, so that they're not real, and they're trying to be like a warning, don't do this, the future will be fucked. And then we just write ourselves into these books, like, I mean, surveillance and stupid presidents who don't really have anything, but I don't know, system's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the planetary war concept. I was like, I could so see that happening. Amazon has
I
to
agree.
move.
That's a good idea. Like Tesla's already starting out. They're gonna have like a rest stop, on your way to Jupiter or something on Mars. You have to stop there and get gas, go to the bathroom and stuff like that. They got a McDonald's there already. It's a typical rest stop. I like the corporation thing with the batteries. Like that was pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
Mhm.
You guys have any more feedback for corporations? Sweet.
And
Awesome.
I totally didn't see the Jewish space laser coming out of nowhere at the end. I was involved with the corporations. There's Tesla Corporation, and then you're like, boom, space laser. So that was good.
That was great. That was good.
Like, because the conspiracy, the Jews run everything, so they really got a space laser. They really already planned ahead.
Yeah. How crazy would it be if they were actually right, though, about the space laser? Because we do need a space laser. Like, if an asteroid heads toward us, we're pretty much done for. Space laser would come in handy.
Maybe we could just do it the cheap way and throw up like some football netting up over the Earth so that it would catch any like meteors that were falling to Earth.
Yeah. Like
It'd also stop people from leaving Earth, because they're gonna want to tax that shit. Like if you leave Earth, oh, you're leaving. How long are you gonna be gone? Let me check your passport. Like what the fuck? No, I'm going to Mars. I'm leaving Earth forever. I'm going to live on Tesla. I got a job. They wouldn't let you go.
Cool. Well, the next part of the show is the part where you guys do, if you have any actual premises you want to work on or jokes you want to run, this is where you do that. So, Jeremy, you're up first again. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
All right. Now, because it says 33 minutes on the top corner. So these are new things that I've been working on, or just dumb ideas. You guys know that if you lose a tooth when you're smoking meth, that it's common courtesy that you try to smoke that tooth. You don't know. It could be meth. It's dumb, I know. Like here in Vietnam, they have no copyright laws. So like there's bootleg clothes or there's knockoff clothes. There's pirated DVDs. And my favorite is a dude who rides around on a bicycle selling bootleg ice cream. Like he makes this ice cream at his house and then he just sells it on a bike. So it's pretty funny here. You guys know about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs died 69 million years ago. That's a funny number, 69. So this is a story about Trice. Trice was like the first hipster dinosaur. And Trice goes by the name Trice because, fuck his parents, the Triceratopses. Trice, he works at Starbucks. He's a barista. His best friend also works there. His name's T-Bone. T-Bone's he's a T-Rex. He's also vegetarian. So he tells everybody, and they spend their time, they got a blog and they got a podcast, but most of the time they're smoking weed because Trice is a herbivore, so he knows where to get the good weeds. And they have a podcast that's called End of Days, but nobody listens to podcasts, guys, so quit making them. And when the end of days, when the meteors fall into Earth, there's no net. We couldn't stop it. So he's telling people how to save themselves. He covers himself in patchouli oil, and he burns incense, and he sings the familiar chant, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Queen Momo would survive. You guys other people would be dead if you don't know that chant. It's Barney the dinosaur. It's very famous. So he comes out of his parents' basement, because that's where all hipsters live, in their parents' basement. And he noticed his parents' house is destroyed, and the whole neighborhood is destroyed. And he just begins walking. And he basically walked the earth before it was cool. So, dumb question my friend asked me the other day. That was a point where you guys laughed, because, you know, the temperature of the earth wasn't cool. The meteor strike, there's lava. He's walking it before it was even cool. So my friend asked me a dumb question the other day. He said, if you can bring back anyone from the dead, who would you choose? And my first thought was Snoop Dogg. Like, I want to bring back Snoop Dogg. But Snoop Dogg is not dead. So, like, my second thought is, how do I kill Snoop Dogg? You know, because I think that'd be the only way I'd be able to smoke weed with Snoop Dogg, is he'd have to be dead and he'd have to come back from the dead. My second person I thought of was Anne Frank, you know, because she went through, well, I mean, she didn't make it through, but she went through a lot in an attic for 2 years with no iPad, so that she could be an inspiration or something, help us out. Third person I thought about bringing back was Bob Marley. You know, but would Bob Marley feel inspired living in my parents' concrete basement? I don't know. Do I got to feed a Bob Marley? What does the Bob Marley eat? Toast and jamming? I don't know. Bob Marley smokes a lot of weed, so I'd probably just bring back a relative, you know, like my grandma. She's probably the only person who ever cared about me. I asked my friend, who are you going to bring back? And he said, oh, I'm going to bring back Jesus. And dude, I don't know if you know how Jesus works, but, you know, he just come back on his own, right? He's like, he just continued to tell me how much sex he was going to get, like showing up to house parties with his buddy Jesus walking 20 feet behind him in a loincloth, dragging a cross. I couldn't convince him otherwise. So he's bringing back Jesus. In 8th grade, I took a career aptitude test, and I got my results back, and it said Undertaker. So in 9th grade, I started wrestling. And the first wrestling move I learned, was the Nope Slam. So I quit wrestling. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you.
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. You guys have any feedback?
That was my favorite wrestler, The Undertaker.
That one takes a little while to set in. You're like, what the hell? Oh wow.
It was great. I was like, yes. Oh,
Isn't
and
that-
also,
oh.
I'm sorry, go ahead. There you go. It's fine.
I don't think I get to go if I mute my mic and start talking.
Okay, well, I was saying that isn't Jesus coming back supposed to signify like the end of days or something? What if your friend like just thought he was gonna bring Jesus back and hang out with him and just kickstarted the apocalypse?
That's good. I like that. Yeah. All right. That's even. Okay. I like it.
That's a good one.
Anyone else?
Sorry, go ahead, Monica. Did you?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about the part where you were talking about when he walked the earth before it was cool. That's a really cerebral part. And I don't know how many people would get it right away. Because, you know, some people still don't believe like that. Some people still believe humans walked with dinosaurs. Yeah, and the earth is flat.
Yeah. Trice
But I
just walked
appreciate
off
the
the corner
cerebral
of the
jokes.
earth. I don't even know if I know what that word means, but I'm looking it up.
I think
No, it
Jesus
doesn't
walked with
typically
God.
go over in a it doesn't typically go over in a show or a mic. I get the same response. It's kind of like you're gonna need a lot of thinking time to put everything together.
Yeah, unless you do it in front of a bunch of nerds, that'll work.
That maybe, yeah. I thought maybe a bunch of hipsters would get it, but then they're like, "Is that guy talking shit about me?"
Ice Age.
I like the idea of the smoking the tooth, like smoking a roach,
Mm.
because it's so saturated with meth. Anyways, that's
Okay. No, I just remember knowing drug addicts, and they would find like things on the floor, and they're like, "We could try to smoke this." And like, "No, dude, that was on the floor. I don't think that's what that's a stone. Like, you can tell it's a stone because it's next to the other stones that are on your carpet that are not supposed to be here." But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the tooth thing is just a dumb idea. But the bootleg ice cream, there is a dude that just drives around on a bicycle, and I'm like, how much fucking money? Like, he's out in front of my house at like 10 a.m. I'm like, I'm not fucking eating ice cream at 10 a.m. Like, he's selling them for $0.25 a cone or something, maybe 50 cents for a cone of ice cream. But it's like, you don't come at the right time, and you're on a bicycle. Like, how is that even cold? You got a cooler. Like, what the fuck?
You made me
Ingenuity.
think of you made me think of like some kind of ice cream prohibition, like the Al Capone of ice cream.
All right, no, I'm writing that down too. That's good.
Because I thought you meant like they were putting it into like Baskin Robbins containers or something. He said bootleg ice cream. I was like, how do you do that?
Maybe you could, yeah, probably. There's probably someone who does that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. You guys have any more?
I mean,
feedback?
this shirt says it's a Gap shirt, and I paid $7 for it. I got a Versace shirt, a Versace, whatever you pronounce it. I say Versace, but it cost $7 also. So I mean, it's pretty cheap. There's no copyright laws.
Nice. All right.
Or maybe there is, but nobody gives a fuck.
No,
Sorry,
laws don't exist if nobody cares about them. All right, Queen Momo, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
All right, let's go ahead and start. All right, so yes, all of you know me as Queen Momo. However, I feel like I should formally introduce me, or as some people say, give you my government name. My name is Monica, but I forgive all you white folks listening. I know you're going to call me Monica. You're all forgiven. It's okay. I get it. My people, we have unique names, okay? It's okay. Yes. And speaking of unique names, like, I feel like in our culture, we have this thing that we like to do, which is like combine names. I don't remember, but do y'all remember what Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie used to call themselves when they were together? Yeah.
Brangelina.
Exactly. I thought that was a cannoli. Yeah. I'm a pretty big girl. I like to eat. I was like, where can I get that? Is that at Baskin Robbins? But no, it was a name. And so I'm like, this is awkward and weird. And then my mother goes to tell me this lovely story. Well, if you think that's weird, my dear, you should have heard the name I was going to give you. I was like, oh, wait, what? I said, well, I had good intentions. Now, y'all know it's bad when your parents start this off by saying they got good intentions. Nothing started with good intentions. Oh, I had good intentions, but the rubber broke. Pop, here comes me. You know, like nothing is good with good intentions. So my mom's like, well, I was gonna name you after your grandmothers. I was like, oh, that is sweet. That's a good intention. Unless your grandmothers are named Johnny May and Cloud Lee. I still don't know how to spell Claw-Lee. How do you spell Claw-Lee? Anyway, so I was like, okay, Mom, what were you gonna name me? Like Johnny Claw? Like what are we doing? And she was like, I was gonna name me Clajona May.
Wow.
Let that sink in. Clajona May. I wish this was fake. This is a true story. Okay. So I was like, wait, Mom, that sounds like, you know, it sounds like, it straight up sounds like an STD. I was like, was my middle name going to be gonorrhea? Was my middle name going to be gonorrhea? You know already, my last name is Scott, and we know that's toilet paper. Cooties are real. Cooties are very real. I can only imagine going into third grade and be like, don't catch Clajona outside. Oh my God. So I am grateful that my father named me while he was in Korea and jump-started my love of K-pop and K-dramas because my name is Monica. Yeah. So let's give it up for that. I'll give it up for the dudes. Yeah, my dad did some right.
Woo!
Yeah, instead of being a Rolling Stone, he did something right. He named me right. But that's okay. Whoo-wee. Man, that was something else. You know what else is something else? Being $80,000 in debt because I went to school. Yes. To learn Spanish. I could have just watched YouTube and got that for free. But that's okay. That's okay. All that learning, and now I'm trying to be a comedian full time. My mom is so disappointed. She should have really called me Clajona May. She's so disappointed in me. All that learning and for what? To tell jokes and get appreciation for people that I don't know because her passive aggressive behind couldn't really make me feel so good. Yeah. So love you, mother. So yeah, so you know, all that learning, I just got puppy. That's about it. And it doesn't sleep too well now because I'm single. And you know, when you're trying to get your needs met, ladies, iPoppy is about the only thing that comes out, you know, all that money just to do that. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. I'm gonna sell merchandise in Vietnam one day and just sell all of it because copyright laws. Or people just don't care. That's what I got, guys, for you. I could go on, but I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah.
Wow, you really
Awesome.
missed out on the name.
Oh
What
yeah,
was the
that
name?
Clajona May.
Yeah, that's
I don't think I'm ever going to forget
that's
it.
very unique.
I was gonna say
That's
that
very
sounds
unique.
like a boat.
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. It sounds like a boat. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when my mama told me that story, and then she told me like how she named my sister. I'm glad my sister uses her first name and not her middle name because my mom combined two cities she was randomly driving past in Georgia and came up with Monquetta. Sorry. Sis. I was like,
Monquetta.
what is hood? I was like, okay, I love you, Mom. We'll let my dad name the kids from now on. So my baby brother's name is Jonathan. I was like, bravo, you got it right. Jonathan works.
Yeah, like,
I
I
wouldn't
almost
even
got named
begin to
Adam.
know how to spell that. Adam.
Yeah, that was the second runner-up.
Oh man! In Louisiana, they have weird names because it was like French influence and stuff like that. And one of the cities I remember driving past, the sign said like Clothierville, but everybody pronounced it as Coochieville. Like, and I was like, how do you even get that out of those letters? Like, I see the letter C at the beginning. That's the only thing that in the ville at the end. That was the only thing that made sense in the whole pronunciation of it. I don't see it. Okay, whatever. Coochieville. But it totally was not that.
Oh gosh.
I heard the drinks are really expensive there. Let me see. What else? But I think that boat angle with the name could like have some legs if you Tried to go to
Yeah,
Ireland.
I was thinking about that, and I'm gonna write something out because it's still Black History Month, and I'm gonna go hurt some people's feelings. A boat, yeah.
I think also, just being like, any Jonas in the audience? Anyone? I just want to. I don't know anyone. I just want to. No.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't want to
god.
call anybody out for this name, but I'm about to make fun of your name if your name is this. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like that. And and it made me think of how you'll never find like anything with your name on it. Not with
Oh,
no, you're forever be
never,
shunned by the world.
never.
You can't start a
Wow.
history business called Jonas Pies. It's like just,
Oh
Well, I
my
mean, you
God.
might be able to. I don't even know. That sounds like a name that would be so many letters you couldn't even fit it on a shot glass. Okay, we can do this by the letter, but it's going to cost you $75. I mean, how do you spell that again?
Yeah, I'd rather be named LaDasha. With the physical dash, you just say the word. That's great. That's good. I really like the Jonas pie. That is hilarious. Oh.
Any more feedback, you guys? All right. Well, Abby, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I will start.
okay. We're gonna. I have not written much lately, but let's give it a shot. Okay, I'm ready. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing a lot of retail therapy and binge watching TV. So commercials are the worst. And just the other day, I saw a commercial for Dawn soap, and they had these ducks that were in an oil spill, and they were cleaning them off. And I'm so impressionable right now. It's just like, oh my God, I need Dawn soap because I have so many oily ducks at home. Like they're just covered in oil too. Like, and I don't know what to do with them. I can't put them on tonic water. I can't spritz them with CLR or I've tried more oil. Nothing's getting the oil off. So I finally got the Dawn soap and it worked. Even got the mustard stains off my cat and the grass stains off my moles. I do really like animals. I'm actually starting up a charity. It's basically trying to help visually impaired people get seeing eye dogs and matching them up with rich people who need dog walkers. So I have to think of a funny name. If anyone can think of a funny name for what that company would be, let me know. What else? I don't get people who call. Okay, I don't think people need to get a dog right now in COVID. A lot of people are buying dogs and they think they're dog people, but they're not. If you are just one of those people that thinks like all you have to do when owning a dog is just open the door and let it out and let it back in, then that's not a dog. Like, what made you think you were a dog person? Did you just hold the door for someone at the mall and be like, oh my God, I'm really good at this. I should get a dog. And it bugs me because those people, like, they should be playing with their dogs and actually walking their dogs, but instead they just let them out and, like, their dogs freak out and bark and bug the neighbors, and all they do is stand in the doorway going, biscuit, 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 biscuit. Like, go get your dog. What is it going to take? I'm a cat sitter, so I'm professionally lonely. I basically watch people's cats, and they always say, like, oh, can you watch my fur baby? Can you take care of my fur baby? And I'm so offended by that because I was a fur baby. Like, I was the hairiest child. I was a shaggy toss, right? I was so hairy as a child that when we went camping, all the pictures of me in the woods would come out blurry. So it's a sad part. So thank you. What else? I'm, it's hard. I'm trying to teach my parents and get them to be more progressive, and I'm trying to teach them about pronouns and stuff. And my father's really hard because he thinks all dogs are boys and all cats are girls still, right? He thinks they're non-binary. He's like, I've never seen genitals or any expression of gender on a bird, so they're they them. There's a guy. One thing I don't mind about living. I've been working from home, and it's good because I don't have to work with this guy. He used to just like drench himself in cologne. Like he puts on cologne like you and I would put on sweaters, like just covered. And I can't. I have an allergy to strong scents, and his is the strongest because it smells like Pine Sol and an uncle orgy, like just an orgy. If all of our uncles got together and had an orgy. Doused in Pine Sol and dog saliva, and like he could kill me with this scent. He could kill me with this cheap cologne. I can't call the cops and be like, this guy's going to kill me with this cheap cologne and expect him to do anything about it. So I just reported him as an axe murderer. I think that's it. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
You guys have any feedback?
I'm just curious what the name of that store is going to be now.
That's what I was trying to think of, so I got sidetracked and I kind of wasn't listening.
That's okay. Like what's the funny name for, like, there has to be something clever because the punchlines, it kind of gets people, but it's not a good punch line. And I'd like to have something where it's like, we'll call it. And
I missed the first half of it. That's the thing. Like I was trying to think of because I know you said dogs for rich people, but did you say blind people?
Yeah, so it's basically you're matching up, and I might have stumbled on the joke, but
visually impaired people.
Matching visually impaired people up who need service, who need seeing eye dogs, with rich people who need dog walkers. So the idea being that the blind people will be walking all the rich people's dogs.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so I did hear it then.
That was the whole joke. I'm sorry.
There's something in there.
Yeah.
The cologne thing had me thinking, like, what if that guy was like a lifeguard at the cologne pool and you were just an asshole?
Yeah.
A lifeguard at the cologne pool.
No, that's good.
I like the visual of putting on sweaters, like he was just covered in it. And then the whole uncle orgy, that's fucking hilarious as well. And the somebody was talking about the whole dogs are boys and cats are girls thing the other day in something that I was in. So I heard that before. I don't know, maybe it was you. I don't know, maybe not. But it's I think it's like many people have that same thought, like from kids, and then they realize, like, no, that's not true.
Yeah,
but I've caught myself. I caught myself saying that with the dog in my house. It's a girl, and I've called her a boy a couple of times, and that's not a So it was just, common thing, I think.
Yeah, but so with the blind people, with the like, how do they tell boy dogs from girl dogs?
The blind?
Yes.
I'm
not told.
I mean,
there's only one way to find out.
I just trust the owner or the vet or whoever's telling me. I've never been like, well, let me check. So.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking too. I'll keep that in mind, and I don't know, maybe I'll get something.
Yeah, it's gonna come up. You guys have any more feedback?
I love the biscuit part. I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah, because so many people got dogs. I'm one. I got a dog during COVID. But I love her to death. She's annoying, but she'll be barking at you. Just reminded, she'll bark at people, and I'm like, "Go to your bed." But it's a lot of effort. So I thought that was funny because there's a lot of people that are just they're not ready, and yeah. So I
And
appreciate it.
that's the thing. I've like done sort of a version of that joke before where I'm like, dog people. But the moment you do that, half your audience, if not most of it, is all like, wait, that's us. We're dog people. So I have to be very clear that it's like, not everyone is a dog person. Not everyone is the dog person they think they are. I mean, that applies to all pets, really.
Okay.
Right.
I think I got 3 possible names, or maybe
Okay.
4. Okay, so the first, I just typed in blind people walking the dogs of the rich, and it brought up the people who walk in darkness, the
Okay.
walk the talk, blind loyalty. That one I think is clever. And then dognity instead of dignity, dognity.
Okay, yeah.
But I think the first one, whatever, or the third one, which was the blind loyalty. I think that's
something good there, and I think like just even the word blind, having it somehow like finding something that applies to both blind people and rich people, and you know.
But I think the rich people would be like, oh, this person's gonna make sure to come walk my dog every day. They're so loyal, they don't care. But then like they never read into it as like this person's blind, so they don't really understand. Like they're like, come on in, and the guy's like, no, I'm staying here. Like, I don't know, you can make some references to like the rich person like doing some visual things, and the guy's just not paying any attention to him. And he's loyal to his job or something. It's just I don't know, immediately starts walking the dog instead of shooting the shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And while you were talking, Jeremy, I thought about like that old, adage, that saying of like you rob the rich and you steal from the blind type of thing. And I was like, there's something that could be there too, with the blind person robbing the rich because of the dog. They might not know where to go to come back because they're blind or visually impaired. And then also too, maybe think about Robin Hood and the whole GameStop thing. So it might be like a little fun way of playing with current events with the stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so like, what if this is like a weird thing? But what if like the blind came to the rich person's house, and like the blind man had like a side job where he was like a bomb technician, and he used the rich people's dogs as drug dogs or something to sniff out drugs at the airport, or to do some other job basically, that so he's getting paid to walk the dog, but then he's also using the dog to make some other money in like a side business, so he's just smart.
This might well, it's not the one-liner thing, but I know it is kind of racist. But I was picturing like them like pitching that company idea, and then they have to stop because like they're like, wait, they're not blind, and it was just they were just using Asian people. Like, wait, they can see, and they never get the dogs back because they were eaten.
Because they were eating them.
That's just where my brain went. I apologize. I was also thinking of some kind of like a Helen Keller Old Yeller pun, but
something in there.
Okay.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
I think you actually got like how would you phrase that?
Yeah, Keller Yeller dog walkers. Keller Yeller dog walkers.
Helen Keller's dog. Helen Keller's walk your old Yeller. Get Helen Keller to walk your old Yeller.
But also
like
gold.
That'd be the slogan.
And rich people do be having gold. I don't know.
Ooh.
Something there. You guys have any more feedback?
Well, if you go with modern days, the new gold is cryptocurrency. And now, like, ever since Elon Musk mentioned Dogecoin, it's about a dog. It started with a dog meme. That might be something to.
I pronounce it as douche. Douche.
It's not wrong.
Like as if you continue to buy this, you're gonna get douched. Like lose your money.
Hmm.
My Bitcoin's almost 300%, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Nice. I don't.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, but if you would have bought it in the beginning, yeah, you would be real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spent it all on Team Fortress 2 hats.
That's very specific.
Okay, you guys have any more feedback? Cool.
Good
I'll
job.
do a couple few jokes then. Okay, so here we go. I don't you guys know about John Wayne Gacy, like the killer clown guy who was like he was a clown, but he also murdered a bunch of kids and buried them in his basement and stuff. I think the first red flag, because he was also a big dude. He was kind of fat. I think that should have been the first red flag because he's way too big to fit in one of those clown cars. You know, that guy can't be a real clown. He cannot be in there. Pears are pretty nasty to me. I don't like pears. You guys fuck with pears? Pears are. Why am I talking like this? I don't talk like this. I only hate pears because apples exist and they're so much better. Imagine if every pear, apples, like all the apples on the world were replaced with pears. We probably would have never left Eden, honestly. Probably wouldn't have even gotten to the world. But the only way I would ever voluntarily eat a pear is if I threw it at somebody and it killed them, and I need to get rid of the evidence. I had an idea that what if we replace all condoms with a really, really tiny cork? Yeah, I regret pitching that idea though because of the whole exploding dick lawsuit that ensued afterwards. It was a mess. All that pressure building up, not good. All the eyes getting put out, not good. Okay, out of all the groups of people, can we agree that the worst drivers among us are blonde ladies wearing sunglasses driving SUVs? Because every time I've almost gotten run off the road, it's either that or it's just the same lady that's been trying to kill me my entire life, van full of kids. This has been following me around everywhere and never aging. One of those two. Having your balls sucked is overrated. I know because nobody ever tries to suck their own balls. It's always straight for the dick every time. But I think it's weird how they have invented self-driving cars, but nobody has invented the self-sucking balls. The soccer mom killer. Soccer mom killer. Oh yeah, yeah. When it's a van full of a lady driving a van full of kids, also that almost runs you off the road. Like I feel, because I can't flip them off because of the kids. I feel like an asshole. So I always just roll down my window and I yell. I'm like, I hope you outlive all your children. Then I speed off.
Ouch.
I was at work one time and I was trying to describe a guy and I didn't know him because I was new. And they were like, what does he look like? And I was like, well, he looks kind of like a skeleton, but with meat on it. And they were like, you just described every person ever. So I was like, you know, the guy with the hands and the nose and the ears and the legs and the hair, and they're like, oh, that's Steve. Yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to work on. You guys have any feedback?
As someone who also hates Paris, the thing I hate the most about Paris is it's pretty much like you buy it in the store, you're like, this is perfectly ripe, and then the moment it's like, have you ever heard the phrase that a car depreciates its value by like 50% the moment you drive it off the lot? That's like a pear. The moment you take it out of the store, it's already rotten. It's like soft and instantly, and that's my biggest pet peeve. I don't know if there's something there that you can do with that, but I also like the idea of wanting to, like, this might work, this might not work, but the whole I just hope you outlive your children, instead of talking about the whole not flipping off and the flipping the bird and whatnot, just say, like, I don't wish harm on this woman. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I want her to live a long, happy life, and I hope she outlives her children. And it wasn't funny the way I said it, but if you get what I'm going for, maybe you can.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah,
No, yeah, that's good.
I hope she's healthy, but I want her to outlive her children and watch them die, because that's really bad, and I love that.
My friend, he has cerebral palsy, so he makes this joke. He's like, I was on a date and the girl turned me down once she seen that I didn't have a hand. She said that if you want to date her, you have to have 2 fully functioning hands. And he's like, sounds like to me that she was looking for somebody who could potentially choke her to death. And then, like, he lets everybody laugh at that. And then, like, he says, well, I hope she got what she wanted. Like, so it's the same type of thing. You like, you're not wishing that they die, but I hope you get what you want.
Any more feedback, you guys?
Good job.
All right. Cool. Well, time to choke this show to death.
What if you didn't get caught, but you didn't eat the pear because you're like, ooh, that's a pear. No, never mind. Okay, close it out.
You ever see a pear that looked like an apple, but it was a pear and you thought it was an apple and you bite into it and then almost chip your tooth because it's a pear and it's hard? Because pears are always hard up down here anyway. You guys are probably getting all the ripe pears in Canada.
That's probably why
like right now is the Lunar New Year in Asia, so like it's New Year for them. So I don't have to work for 10 days, but they have all these like traditional things that they buy, and the pear is actually one of them. Like it's supposed to be like, I don't know, some kind of traditional thing, but they're expensive right now.
That's interesting. I didn't know they had pears. Like I thought pears were just a North American thing for some reason.
I'm pretty sure that they have it's pears.
I just assumed that.
It's a Japanese pear. Oh, really? And they actually, yeah, I don't know if y'all got Publix where y'all are at. I don't know if that's just a Southeast thing, but sometimes I'll find like a Japanese pear in a Publix.
That's cool. I thought they only had cherry trees. Okay.
No, it says, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, if you have anything to say.
I was just looking up the fruits of the new year, and I don't think pears on here. Oh, wait, maybe that's a pear. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what pears look like. So
they look kind of like an apple, but like a really ugly apple.
Yeah.
And that's the part where if you guys have any, social media you'd like to plug, or any podcasts or shows coming up or anything, this is where you do it. Jeremy, you're up first. Do you have anything?
No. I mean, I have my Twitter, which is on the screen. I'm not going to say it. Nobody follows me, so don't worry about it.
Awesome. Queen Momo, you're up next.
Well, y'all can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and if you're ever in the Greenville, South Carolina area, y'all can find me at the local open mics every Thursday at Comedy Zone, and then also part of Stone Grown Comedy on Wednesday nights. And then I also run a open mic for women there as well.
Cool. And last but not least, Abby.
You can follow me on all the social media at Abby Stung Me. And that's where I post all my shows. And we're not doing anything much. So follow for details.
Cool. Well, this concludes another episode of The Workshop. Thanks, everybody, for hanging around and stuff.